Charles here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out New Cat Bodies by Jeremy Smokin.
All right. Good morning. It's Lions Talk with Smokin, Jeremy B, and Von Doom Lenner. How's everybody doing today? We got Dwayne Keene in the chat already saying, "Let's go, Detroit Lions. One pride, 12-5. Good morning to all. Great to see you.
Good morning, everybody.
Yes, sir. Got 11 people watching already. I love it. That's a good thing. So, we're going to talk a little bit about the injury report. Khalif Raymond is still out with his knee injury. Alex Thorzalone limited but practiced. Laporta, Houston, and everyone but Ragnow with the vet rest day was a full go at practice. Jerry Jacobs and company still sit on the IR. I think that's really good news that only lineman that sat out was a vet rest day. I think that's huge.
That is absolutely huge. You need that offensive line intact. What is Jerry Jacobs on the IR with, though?
Knee hamstring thing. I think it was because he was butthurt. He lost his starting job to Kendall Vildor and he pulled a hammy at practice.
That could be. I could
Or
see
he
that.
ordered a ham sandwich and pissed off the coaching staff. I don't know.
Ordered a ham sandwich and pissed off the coaching staff. Gotcha.
Yeah, it must have been on a Friday. No pork on Friday. I know I'm awful. Can't pull your pork on Fridays.
Well, you're in luck today because it's only Thursday.
Yeah, I can have as much pork as I want, and I can pull on my pork as much as I want. But anyways, Paul Jones comes in and says, "Good morning, boys. One pride."
Good morning, Paul Jones.
Yeah, I'm in a mood today.
Well, yeah, you're gonna go get some pork.
I'm gonna pull my pork. I'm not getting any pork.
You said you could have as much pork as you want and pull your own pork. So I said you're gonna go get some pork.
I'm not getting pork.
Hey, man, it's a little sus, but we'll let you slide on it this time.
So,
But if you come on the show tomorrow morning and you're wobbling, we're gonna know what happened.
and I do have an update with a couple roster moves that was done yesterday, and one that wasn't done yet because it's actually today. The Lions brought back Notre Dame defensive tackle Chris Smith back to the practice squad, and we misspoke about Houston. His activation deadline is today at 5 p.m. That is per the website, DetroitLions.com. So we got a waiting game again.
I think he'll be activated this week. He'll be activated this week.
He's been a full go at practice for his second week in a row, so I'm pretty sure this is the week he gets active. We're probably going to need him because he plays that D end outside linebacker spot to keep Jack Campbell in the middle. And everybody's complaining about how Jack Campbell's been covering in the pros, but I guess they didn't see how he batted a ball away from Tyler Higbee, batted a ball away from another slot receiver, Cooper Kupp. But he did have 2 passes defended this past week.
He did.
Lions Villain Squad says, "Good morning, One Pride." That's our buddies over there, Russell and Main Event. One of them two is doing it. But hey,
good morning, fellas.
Even though we hate waiting, the anticipation is nerve-wracking and annoying. I'm pretty confident this is the week Houston gets active because we need them. I mean,
That added pass rush will be great.
we literally cut Bruce Irvin to bring him back to activation. And that was putting him off IR to the 21-day active window, which means he's on the roster but can't play.
You know what I think they need this week? To use Iffy as a blitzer again.
Oh, put Aiden on the D line, Houston on the other side at OLB, and Iffy as the blitzing safety. Guaranteed, one of them's getting a sack every play if you do it that way.
I don't know about every play, but your percentages would definitely go up.
Every play you run that along with the rest of the D line. And Justin D. Humphreys Linford says, salute from Toronto, Canada. One pride till I die. Go everyone for you but the Maple Leafs. Sorry, had to do it.
You're really going to insult their like national pastime saying everybody but the Maple Leafs. That's rough.
Hey, they haven't won a championship since 1962. They're basically the Detroit Lions of Canada. I'm awful. I know.
They're the Detroit Lions of Canada. Gotcha. That is terrible.
Richard Head, what's the news of James Houston? Just tuned in. His activation day is today by 5 p.m. No love for the Leafs, only Lions. All right. Love it. So we'll know by 5 p.m. today if he's in, but he's been a full go at practice for 2.5 weeks now. So I think that means he'll be active for the Bucks game this weekend. And like I said, as far as players injured that are on the active roster, it's Khalif Raymond and everybody else practice. Only Alex Anzalone was in limited practice. There. Facebook user, what's up, brother? That sounds like Mr. Greg Rice. I'm not sure. Any injuries with the Bucks? I really haven't looked at their injury report. I'm saving that for Friday, tomorrow night show, because that's when I get into detail about the pregame. You know, the fan cave chat. We always do. This is just Lions talk. I'm not talking the other team right now, other than how stupid that reporter was that asked, "How are you going to prepare your team for the weather?"
I think we can definitely talk about the Bucks injuries tomorrow, dude. We can talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what because tomorrow's basically the last show of the week, both primetime and morning. So that's when we're going to do more of our pregame stuff. I did my pick'ems last night. I said Texans, Niners, Lions. Oh, Wild Woody show. Hey, good to hear from you, buddy. But I said Texans, Niners, Lions, Bills. That's my 4 picks for this weekend.
I was right there with you.
I just don't and I'm not dogging the Packers. I just don't know if they can overcome that exact team the way it's built in their house. I'm not saying they can't. I just don't know if they can. Because any given Sunday, Saturday, whatever you want to say. But we'll know by Saturday night. You're just showing love, bro. I appreciate it. Hopefully, Sutton's back at practice. The Facebook user says great picks. Because the way the Texans tore up the number 1 defense in the NFL, I am not betting against DJ Stroud and the Texans.
In May, you love an Ohio State quarterback.
I said I loved him coming out of college. I said he was going to be the best one out of this draft class. And I was right. He's winning the rookie of the year. There's no way anybody else can supersede him. If Laporta would have broke all the records this year, he might have had a shot, but it's CJ Stroud's to lose.
If he would have broke every record, he wouldn't have had a shot because he's a tight end compared to a quarterback. That's all.
I'm
According
just
to
saying, if he
position.
broke that record, that's the only way he'd have been considered close. Is what I'm saying. It's a landslide in the voting right now that I saw for CJ Stroud. He's got over 60% of the votes, and the next closest one is 22.
Can you imagine if CJ Stroud didn't sit out those 3 weeks, how many yards and touchdowns he would have had?
Oh, if he wouldn't have had the concussion that made him sit out for 3 weeks, yeah, I do.
He would have been the
We should.
first 5,000-yard rookie in history.
Yeah, Brandon, Eli, you are exactly right. We should run more man versus these receivers, but at the same time, it should be more of a cover 3 zone instead of a single high safety zone. And the reason why I say that is that you can use your nickel and dime corners and do more dime coverages, bump Godwin and Evans off their routes to begin with, and have everybody sitting deep to keep them in front of them. Stroud is a QB. It's his to lose. Go from the number 2 pick to second round of the playoffs. Absolutely. And they won their division. They were thought, even with all those picks, that they would be at most a 7-win team by every pundit across the NFL. It's difficult to choose
I
on
just
one
want to put
hand.
out.
Santa Clara in winning is about as legitimate as it gets. On the other hand, beating a division rival to go to the Super Bowl is huge. Absolutely. And I love it if the Packers win and we get a third home playoff game and possibly get to send them back to Green Bay. Because don't forget, the Kirk Cousins curse is real over the last few years. If their team loses to the Vikings and Kirk Cousins, they don't go to the Super Bowl. Green Bay and 49ers both lost to Kirk Cousins this year. Patty Grimes, what's up? Oh, we're talking about
What?
our dog's barking in the background.
Uh,
I said, fuck that
but
dog.
anyway,
Patty Grimes, what's
I know
up?
everybody wants to. I know
Oh, go
everybody
ahead.
wants to play the Packers, but I kind of don't, because if you guys play the Packers in Detroit and just for some god awful happenstance they win,
Mm-hmm.
you'll
Never.
never hear the end of Green Bay Packers fans. Never.
Whereas if they go to San Francisco and lose to the number 1 seed, they say, hey, at least we made it this far. That's how they'll act. And I will say,
Mhm.
yep, and San Francisco's still your daddy, Jordan Lovin's. I said, Jordan Love going to the number 1 seed and losing. He's still the greatest quarterback rookie year ever. But it's not his rookie year, it's just his first year starting.
I'm pretty sure the actual rookie quarterback's having a better year than Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm. Best touchdown to interception ratio of any rookie quarterback ever. Is Undone. Yes, I just started doing morning shows this week. Every morning, 10 a.m. is Undone. Monday through Friday. 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year, except on Christmas. I will not do a show on Christmas morning. I might do on Christmas night if it falls on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday.
Christmas morning. I'm not opposed to a Christmas morning.
You're not opposed to a Christmas morning? I'll let you
I don't
know.
know.
I'll set it up and get you live and drop out and join you from the chat.
I'll go live in my freaking pajamas with my hot chocolate and my cinnamon bun.
Is Undone. Good luck on your job interview. I hope it goes very well for you.
Good luck, sir.
So, that being said, we covered the basic news topics today. Now it's time to hear what y'all want to talk about, because that's why we're here. We're a couple of talking heads, love talking to our fans, And the fact you watch us every morning is pretty freaking great. Dan Lenner with the Mr. Bean eyebrows going there.
That's for you, JB.
Oh, nice.
JB over there doing his best impersonation of Will Ogle.
No, my chin don't have a butt in it.
It's got a turd coming out of it.
That's weird. NFC North seems to be the toughest division in NFC, and the NFC East is looking like the South. Absolutely. Chantel Brooks says good morning. Lacey O'Brien says Detroit Lions. All right. We got the ladies even coming in and joining us. Good morning, ladies. We appreciate you. 21 viewers. So far, 7 likes and reactions, whether it's funny, love, or likes. Go ahead and make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you say, did you see CBS Sports ranked playoff remaining teams? Lions were 7 and then Texans were 8. Yeah, they're the only one to have us that low. ESPN, NFL Network, and not CBS, USA Today had us in the top 4. So they can say what they want. CBS Sports, they go back and forth. They still don't respect us, but they will. Absolutely, Von Zellia Long. How you doing today? And yes, and I said it right after the wild card. I said, wait, what's the only division with 2 teams in it in the playoffs? It's the NFC North.
How the hell do they have the Lions and the Texans lower than the Packers?
Yeah, division winners. That makes no sense. Chantel Brooks
CBS
says,
Sports is a joke.
win. Yes. What'd you do? Did you throw something at Stafford to make his hand slippery so he could sail those passes to begin the game? I know I'm awful. Leonard just froze. She goes, yes. Oh, it's because Green Bay. There, you're back. All right. It's because Green Bay
Yeah, dude, it just froze for some reason.
and the media loves the Cardinals. Yeah, it was like weird. You were there, and then all of a sudden it went dead silent on me. I was like, oh. And then you were.
Because I was looking at it like, what the hell is going on? It's hardwired in. It shouldn't be freezing at all unless there's an internet connection outside having an issue.
Right. After the show, go out and check your box. See if there's ice inside the cable box where the loop connects. I had that problem. Better to be
I
ignored
know.
than
I have a little bit of experience.
absolutely, Greg Hort. I know you do. I was just saying, I dealt with that here. My parents were like, "Why is the internet acting up?" They had their whole box opened up and the connections were exposed. It was hilarious. It's because Green Bay beat the Cowgirls and the media loved the Cowgirls. The Cowgirls were the most overrated division winner out of everybody. And why did I say that Green Bay was beating Dallas? I actually said it on the show. Leonard can quote me, probably.
Yep, he did. Because the
The,
Cowboys are fucking frauds.
the Cowboys are frauds, and the Lions showed everybody how to keep scoring 42 points a game. Let them eat between the 20s and stop them in the red zone. And that's exactly what Green Bay did. And then a couple of times they didn't even let them get out of their own end. It was funny. At one point, Dak had completed 45 yards worth of passes to Cowboys receivers and 55 to Darnell Savage. It's all about the name of the team, past success, and the actuality of now how teams are performing on a day-to-day basis. Green Bay has more playoff wins at AT&T Stadium than the Cowgirls. That is a fact. I think they got 4 there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other night. I placed my bet
Very
February
slay over here, man.
for Lions go to. Hey, Kelly, if we get that, you're gonna be a rich little woman. What a great day to be a Lions fan, though. 3 years ago, yesterday, we hired Brad Holmes. That was when I started my Motor City Kneecap Biters page, and how I met a lot of these guys because I used to do a Monday evening after work. I would get together and just do a video chat live on Facebook. She says, money in the bank. And lo and behold, I met Jim Bordeaux and the guys from Detroit Lions on the Prowl. They introduced me to a couple of Yahoos, and that was We Are Lions Nation. Loved those guys, Andrew Souls and Logan. It was a great start. But after a year, and I saw the growth that they had, because did you talk about Slay comments? We did last night. I mean, you know what I think
Yep.
about Darius comments? Yeah, you did. They put it in the chat and we discussed it. Darius Slay said that he wouldn't return to Detroit because of the fans, just because of how they treated Matthew Stafford at the game
Oh.
Sunday.
Oh. Whatever.
We did talk
Screw
about
that. I thought you meant his other comments he had about the Eagles changing from defensive coordinator mid-season, where he said it's like being married to two women, the two different personalities, all trying to live in the same household together.
Oh, 3 years of rebuilding, and everything he said is now coming to fruition, and it's showing in a major way. Absolutely. And if you think about it, this retool/rebuild we did is way ahead of schedule. Yeah, Slay is softer than whipped margarine. He's all in his feelings because his team went to shit, because they went 1-6 since Matt Patricia took over the defense of the Eagles. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, they never boo. Okay.
Oh, they
Those
boo a lot.
assholes throw batteries at Santa Claus.
Yes, they do. That was in the 70s, but still. Batteries and slush balls at Santa Claus. Awful. That was in the old vet stadium. I don't think they allow that stuff in the Lincoln Memorial Stadium now.
Either way, it's still fucking cesspool.
Yeah, I mean, Slay made his bed and lied in it. What's the one to the Lions win Sunday? The same as I've said for the past 10 weeks. You want to know what it is?
Score more points than the other team.
That's the end of the game discussion, yes. But during the game, it stopped the run, make them one-dimensional. We have that soft zone. It needs to be modified a little bit and be more of a man zone option. And like I said, you put your nickel and dime slots on the outside and have them check Evans and Godwin in the first 5 yards, and then play everybody in the 3 deep zone. I think that would work better, and then have your front 7 rushing. 5 of them
Limit
anyway.
the amount of pressure Goff gets.
And have the O-line keep doing what it's been doing with its starters. We're 6-0 with that starting O-line in place. And that's with whether it's Big V or Graham Glasgow at right guard. We won every single game with them, and now we won the last 2 with them. So now let's make it what? We're 8-1. 8-1 with that O-line. The only time we lost with that O-line was Dallas. And that was due to Brad Allen, not because we lost. Montgomery has a makeup game for. Yeah, he was injured the game before that at the Packers. He got injured on the sideline. Dallas cheated. Glad to see them gone. Absolutely, Kelly. Um, if it was a regular season game, they cheer for Stafford. Slay need to stop. They cheer for him when he came to Ford Field, and that was a regular season game. If it was the playoff game, Slay booed just like Stafford. Absolutely. I
Fred
100.
Peterson.
Yeah, they were going to cheat again, but couldn't do it. Why? Because the Packers had more money for the refs.
Right here, Fred Peterson saying about how they threw the popcorn at Sirianni as he walked out of the tunnel. With the way he is to the fans there, he's lucky he didn't have a beer thrown at him that wasn't opened yet.
Yeah. From making that decision to change the defensive coordinators because they were actually up there with the Lions in pressure rate as far as pressures, not sacks. They were up there at that same pressure rate with their old DC, and they were 10-1. They pull that DC, name Matt Patricia, their DC, and they go 1-6 after. You want to talk about an epic collapse?
I mean, I'm glad I saw it collapse because, fuck the Eagles. Pardon my French.
I'm surprised that Sirianni and McCarthy kept their Sirianni, I'm not, because last year they were in the Super Bowl. McCarthy, yes. Hard to cheat as a ref when the Packers scored 78 points in the first quarter. 27
No, all
because
you gotta do is say holding every play. Nobody will
yeah,
freaking question it.
right. The Lions offense are dominant like the Ravens defense with Ray Lewis when they won the Super Bowl, and our defense is average like the Baltimore offense was with Flacco back then. Our defense don't have to be perfect, but do just to win the game because the offense can destroy a great so-called defense. And we've seen it except versus the Ravens. We've averaged 28 points a game all season. That's with only scoring 6 versus the Ravens. That's pretty impressive, really, if you think about it. So our offense has been top 5 to top 3 all year long. It's never fell out of that ranking. Our defense at one point, because the run game was so good on defense, was in the top 10. We finished in the 20s. It's very impressive considering we were damn near 29th last year. And Fred Peterson goes, I come from an Eagles family. Mom's from Philly. I told them on Christmas they will not win the East and lose first round simply because of Patricia. You are exactly right, Fred Peterson.
Did they uninvite you from all future holidays?
They should, if they're that true of a fan.
Yep. I agree with what she's saying up there about the offense and the defense and stuff. But man, anytime I hear anybody compare anything to like the Ravens defense in like the early 2000s or the 85 Bears, like for some reason, just in my heart, it's just like, no, this is something historically amazing. You know what I mean? Like the Rams, the greatest show on turf. Have you seen an offense really better than that? No. People imitate it, but
Man, what
I've
a
got a
great.
question for Lenner. As a
Okay.
Giants fan, who do you dislike more? Ooh, I dislike the Dallas Cowboys more, but I dislike the Philadelphia Eagles fans more than I dislike anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the Eagles have one Super Bowl. They're freaking worthless. They're nothing. For years, they were the freaking little baby sister in the freaking division. The Cowboys have 4 Super Bowls. Eagles have 1. Giants have however many. No, Cowboys have 5, right? Yeah, Cowboys are 5. We have 4. Washington's got 3. I had never had a problem with the Eagles until their fans became obnoxious scumbags.
And Fred Peterson replies, thankfully, no, they are only family I can tolerate. I go to Thanksgiving games just to get away from my family and their bullshit.
My man.
That's a win. You tolerate the Eagles fans to have a better Thanksgiving. I love it. Oh man, what a great morning. I dislike Dallas even though I have family in Texas.
You know, that's funny. I put up with the Eagles fans because they got better mac and cheese.
Oh, that's funny.
That's awesome. Doo phenomena.
Harbs has no follow-up interview scheduled with the Chargers, but he got his agents camped out in Ann Arbor. Expect an announcement soon. He's also interviewing with Atlanta, I heard, and also the Raiders. So I don't know if there's going to be an announcement soon. And I'm going to say this again: Harbaugh's had the same exact pro agent for 3 consecutive seasons, and all he's done is hold Michigan hostage for both all 3 seasons. It's just so he can get paid to be the highest paid coach again.
I like Harbaugh as a coach, but that guy is an asshole with that demand that he wants that clause put in that they can't fire him if NCAA freaking sanctions him.
Yeah, I agree. It isn't. That's an asshole move. 100%.
That is. That 100% says you don't care about that school or that team at all because at that point you are putting them in the guillotine. All the NCAA has to do if that freaking findings come back and you're not going to comply with suspending the guy or firing him. Okay,
Right.
fine. Let's take away your program.
Exactly.
Trent Williams plans to return in 2024 with the eyes on a 12th Pro Bowl.
Oh, I remember a lot of the Eagles history because of them. The Lions were so bad for so long. I ended up watching a lot more Eagles during those years. Andy Reid, head coach, McNabb, T.O., David Akers, Brian Dawkins, just to choke at the Super Bowl with McNabb throwing up on the field.
That was a beautiful day.
Oh, that's funny.
God. You know what? I'll say this. I liked Andy Reid as their coach. I liked Brian Dawkins. I like Jeremiah Trotter. Shit.
Oh yeah, Jeremiah Trotter was great. And let's not forget who they had through his rookie contract, Reggie White.
Yep.
They've drafted and UDFA'd some great players. Vince Papale.
Chris
He
Carter.
was Chris Carter, Reggie White, God, Brian Dawkins. There was their running back, Bryant Westbrook, not to be confused with the defensive back that the Lions drafted, Bryant Westbrook.
Brian was.
No, they both were Bryant. Just one was with the I, the other one was with the Y. I love Coach Harbaugh. I don't blame Coach Harbaugh for the clause protecting himself. Alumni wanted him out last season. Hate their alumni. Oh, Susan Schultz, you're absolutely right. They did want him out. But the president, not the athletic director, the president is the one that wanted him out, or was it the other way around? I can't remember, but it was just like a big headache.
Dude, it's a headache there, but at the end of the day, you got to protect the university, not just him.
I still have that question by that reporter, whether she's the regular sports beat writer or just somebody that got thrown in because somebody couldn't be there as a general sports journalist, to not know that the Detroit Lions, when she said it in her speech leading up to the question, she even goes, "I know they're in a dome, but how are you going to prepare your team to play for the cold?" I know they're in a dome, but how are you going to prepare your team to play in the cold? Wow.
Oh, Max Crosby got knee surgery today.
Who did?
Well, yesterday, Max Crosby had his left knee wrapped and got some surgery done on it yesterday.
You know, I can say that everything works itself out for our Lions. Controversial call in Dallas that stopped us from being number 2 seed and came back full circle, and we still stand still positioned to hold our first ever NFC Championship game if and when Green Bay beats the 49ers this weekend. And Fred Peterson said his mom grew up down the street from their practice facility. Her and her neighborhoods would carry their gear to the field. She has a lot of autographs, and she remembers Vince Papale.
I
That's
miss
awesome.
the days where football was like that, where you could all just go down to the fields when they would play at like local colleges and high school training camps, and they could interact with the fans more.
Right.
It became too freaking corporate.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Henry Gray says, good morning, one pride.
Good morning, Henry. I wanted to tell you the other day, JB.
Yeah.
What was it? I saw a thing. Swift is doing a youth football camp about an hour from me in June for all the kids down there at the high school
Oh,
in
DeAndre Swift.
Harrisburg. Yep.
You gotta specify. 'Cause, you know, it might be Taylor Swift bringing Kelsey Swift.
I don't know if you've ever been to Harrisburg, man. They wouldn't be walking out of there.
We got Travis Swift. DeAndre might as well have been a Kelsey this year, too, as ineffective as he was. All he did was get a buttload of yards and almost no touchdowns. Yeah, I know I'm being bitter. But you got to say Brad Holmes did it right. So what questions do you guys got for us today? What do you want to know? What are you looking for? Is that we're at that section of the show. That's cool he's doing that. I'm really surprised Swift didn't get hurt this season. They didn't use him for like 4 games though. And Smokin'
When
Dad,
he doesn't have to be the focal point of an offense, he's got a little bit more of a chance not to get hurt. Good morning, Crazy Ken.
that is an awesome story. Well, I'm going to make this win this game to since my Aunt Donna and Jeremiah got me into football and for 4 years they're both in heaven. So now I'm 4 of them. Nice. I love that story.
Well, outside of the part that they're not here anymore. But yes, we love the rest of it.
No, I mean I love that that's why she's doing it. That's why she's here. Who's your Mount Rushmore of the Lions than New York Giants? Okay. My Lions one, and even though he cursed us, no, you know what? Let's go for the quarterback that played after he broke his leg. Tobin Rote, Doak Walker, Barry Sanders, and right now it's Dan Campbell because he was a player. Now he's the head coach that got us here.
How do you not have Megatron on there?
Same reason why I won't put Stafford on there.
I won't put Stafford on there, but I'll put Joey Harrington on there because I like Joey Harrington.
Joey Blue Skies. Throw a pick, still smile and shake his head and look.
You know what? That's awesome that somebody could just have that freaking like mental fortitude to just not be freaking miserable after something like that.
Right. That's not Campbell. That's MCDC. Yeah, I hear you.
MCDC.
Yeah.
Sounds like a really bad rap name.
I still liked what I started calling him after he did the kneecap speech. Dan
I
the
need
Cannibal.
to use an AI generator. I need an AI generator to make Dan Campbell singing the Vanilla Ice song. It's bad for his hat.
Reface that.
Yep. Yeah, me personally, quarterback, I'd have to go Stafford because he's the only Lions quarterback that I know because I'm not old as fuck like JB. Barry Sanders, Megatron, and I don't have a fourth on that really. Well, Billy Sims, yes, another running back from fucking Oklahoma, 101 Heisman. That's a good one. And my Giants is just a hard one all the way around. Because you got to go Eli at quarterback for the Giants.
Billy Sims is my all-time favorite player, but no, Doak Walker was so good they named a college award after him for running back. So you kind of had to have him there. Jared Goff isn't there yet. I mean, I understand he won a playoff game and he got us all this stuff and we won a division. But you know what? Jared Goff's only been here 3 years. Chris Spielman,
Yeah.
he was a great player for us, but overall, if you look at his totality, he was an above average linebacker. I love Chris Spielman to death. He's one of my favorite defensive players, along with Luther Ellis and all this here. You know, they're great. That being said, it's time to talk about my sponsor. You know, there's our favorite sponsor. You know what that sponsor is. It's FTP, and no, it's not the florist. What is it, guys?
Fuck the Packers.
Yeah, that's it. Eli wins an award for having a smaller forehead than Peyton.
So
That's
Eli
kind
definitely deserves. No, Peyton should win an award for having the largest forehead outside of that dude Megamind from that freaking Disney and Pixar movie or whatever it is.
Hey, I know who the comeback player of the year is, and no one wants to say it because it's been coming back ever since he retired. It's the hairline of Drew Brees. He almost has a full head of hair now compared to what he had when he was playing.
Well, you know what? That makes sense because he's not gonna have that freaking helmet on his head rubbing his freaking hair all the time.
No, he ain't stressed because his team is ass and he has to carry them.
Mm-hmm.
His hair grew back after the first off season. It was hilarious. I'm quite sure it was plugs.
But anyway, back to mine on the line. I mean, the Giants. I'd go Eli, Y.A. Tittle, Lawrence Taylor, and then either Mark Rivaro or Carl Banks.
I like it. That being said, the other sponsor I got is Gloss Negron, window tinner out of Saginaw. He won the Platinum Award for Best Window Tinner in the Tri-Cities. That's 989-443-9240. Give him a call. He can clean your whip or make it have a great tint job like this Audi right here or that 300 C-Class. I hate when this touchpad gets sensitive. It makes me feel like
You just like putting that up.
Yes, I do.
Thank you for joining us and talking with us, Chantel. Have a nice day.
Strahan, spelling doesn't look right. The Lions.
That's actually how it's spelled.
See you guys later. I have more business to take care of. Bye-bye. Thank you, Chantel. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Dick Jaron is who you're thinking of, Dad. The Steelers defensive back coach.
Dick Jaron, dude. He was old as hell, too.
And he was
Like,
a great
old.
defensive coach. And the Steelers haven't had the same defensive backs
Since he
develop.
died. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Fred, I love Strahan, but when you look at the Giants' defense historically, he sits outside of the top 5. Eli won us 2 Super Bowls. Y.A. Tittle was Y.A. Tittle. And Mark Navarro may be the best tight end in history.
All right, guys. Tomorrow will be more of an in-depth game review type of thing. I'm going to do the one in the morning. If you can't catch the morning show, we're going to do the one in the evening. Tomorrow is basically just going to be going over stats, going over key injuries for Tampa and the Lions, that type of stuff, keys to the game, the stats overall. And let's not forget, we were missing a buttload of people the last time we played Tampa, and we still beat them in their house because of our fans being louder than theirs on the road. It was 20-6. I understand they're playing better. I expect them to score more than 6 points, of course, but I still expect a 7 to 8 point win. But have a great day. Get ready to watch Russell's show coming up at 11 a.m. Make sure you tune in to Football Talk with Russell Wayne and Main Event Live. Have a blessed day, everybody. Say it, Lenner.
Spay and neuter your cats.